Today's been fun. Got to kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
how many kills did you have actually?
Well, not when I joined the guild, but like
No,
when I
no,
was
no.
unguilded.
Like during the war, how many kills did
Oh, I think only like two, dude. I went full PO, dude.
you have? Dude, like actually, like with 4 team has its own comms, it was awesome. Not gonna lie. How's defense?
Defense?
Yeah,
Defense was pretty chill.
right on. Oh, okay. Oh
You guys
yeah,
didn't
that's
get
right.
pressured.
It was no defense.
Dude, both of our defense leaders didn't show up, so I had to fucking fill.
Yeah, no, like that
From
was
Hotcha.
actually. Oh yeah, cause Shank was fucking putting his computer together, right?
Yep.
All right, all right, all right. So let's skip. So today, episode 9. Yeah, can't believe it. Panda, we made it for 9 weeks, sir. 9 weeks,
Damn.
right? Anyway, we don't have Ben tonight. He's slightly tired. There's a lot of things happening for him. But we do have our guest speaker, lolsero.
Yo, yo.
Yeah, so let's start. My name is Boy Karma. I'm a wizard. I'm defensive build. Panda.
I'm Illis Panda, Zerker, accuracy hybrid build.
I'm lolsero, blew up all my gear. I'm not even an actual fucking build anymore, but I was an AP build.
Watch a build.
Watch out, build. Watch out, build.
I'm built fucking
Best watcher in there, guys. Best watcher in there. Actually, I'm a little bit surprised that Panda you didn't do your single and Pilaku shit.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Illis Panda, level 60 Zerker, accuracy hybrid build. I'm single, likes cuddles and long walks at the beach.
Is that what happened? You changed the accuracy?
I've been accuracy.
Cause you hurt a lot more last time, like 2 days
You just
ago.
missed my cuddles.
Yeah, just a little bit, dude. I actually don't need to throw me off cliffs nowadays.
Roll the clip, Karma. Roll the clip.
Shut up. Anyway, so this episode is more class specific. For like in the next few episodes, we're gonna cover class to class to class, and we're gonna try to have guest speakers from respectful guest speaker in the community to come in and talk about no-one related mechanic for each class. For example, builds, play style for each build, and so on and so forth. Today we have Sero. Sero is actually before he decided to go North Korea on his gear. He's a very respectable AP build witch in the community. Sero.
Yo, yo.
So I guess let's start with why do you like AP build over like how other wizard and witches are favored more defensive type these days.
Okay, so the main reason why I like AP build is because to play an AP build, you must have very, very good mechanics. And what I mean by this is a lot of other builds, like hybrid evasion builds or just flat evasion builds, they can get away with doing things that an AP build cannot. For example, if you get CC'd by a Sork in an evasion build, and they get down attack and air attack modifiers on you with violation, you will get obliterated even with full 10 armor with maneuver offhand. However, if you're an evasion build, right, if you have parry dagger and let's say you have a couple of pieces of Rokava and full tap boss, you are much less likely to get one shot due to your enormous amount of DP and just ridiculous evasion. That's pretty much why I like AP build the most, because it forces me to get in good habits of playing mechanically proper and understanding the game at a much more fundamental level.
And to be honest, like, to be perfectly fair, I play defense build because I know that my mechanic's not there. To be honest, like it's just I need to allow myself to make errors. Like, I don't fully trust myself to that degree, in my opinion. Anyway, so actually a little bit background, Sero, on you, I guess. Do a little bit, like, for those people that don't know where have you been, or I guess, guilds, and how you, I guess, decide to play it. Play with.
Alright. Basically, I'm lolsero, pretty much, said it like 8 times, but I was originally an archetype a long time ago. It was like a pretty small guild Then we expanded, went to very many different guilds. I was just recently in Vision for quite a long time, but I kind of quit the game about a month and a half ago, blew up all my gear, kind of got sick of the game, had to focus on school a little bit, but I recently found myself with nothing to fucking do. So I just fucking brought my ass back onto BDO and rejoined Endgame, which is the first actually real guild I was quote unquote established in, somewhat. It's Endgame is definitely like super cool guild, and it's pretty much why I'm here over Vision, because it's just for me I don't enjoy big guilds, but everyone in Vision and Snake, they're all really cool guys. But however, more about me, I started playing Witch as my first character in my first class, just because my friend, she was like, "Oh, you'd be a really good Witch," because she used to play other games with me, and I was a very good caster in some other games. So I picked up Witch, and when you first start, Witch is like almost impossible to play, right? I started playing it ever since Pre-Awakened, and the 1v1 mechanic you needed to have for Witch was the skill ceiling was just ridiculously high. Like you need to be really, really good to even get close to killing people.
Yeah.
But now obviously the skill ceiling is far lower. It's much easier to play now. However, you still 1v1 is still not a strong suit for Witch, and it's somewhat hard if you do not know what you're doing. And even if you do know what you're doing, there's a lot of classes that counter you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No
before
graphing.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. Like actually, like okay. So why? Cause like you said you started Pre-Awakened, right?
Yes.
So why Witch over Wizard? Did you have info on what they're gonna be like in Awaken, and that's why you went for Witch, or it was just like, you know what, I like tits?
Well, it wasn't more so I like tits. I just thought that witches sounded cooler than wizards, and I didn't want to be an old grandpa.
Oh yeah, at the
So
time you only have Grandpa template, right?
yeah,
Okay, okay.
I just couldn't deal with the old grandpa's animation, so I just picked witch.
I got you. I got you. All right. So let's start diving into, I
Ooh,
guess.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, yeah, go.
So having a lot of experience, right, in the PvP and knowing a lot of the mechanics, would you reroll to a wizard or stick to witch?
So define reroll. Would I wake up
Um,
tomorrow with the same character, just a different class, with the same skill points and level, or would I have to
yeah,
remake the character?
yeah, same thing. Like, if you got the choice to go for a wizard or a witch, would you stay as a witch?
If I were given the choice to go wizard or witch, I would pick wizard.
Yeah. Why?
Why?
So first of all, the 1v1 potential in wizard is much better, in my opinion. So there are many different ways to argue this, but in my opinion, I think grab is the ultimate just fucking be all and end all for every class. I think if witch had a grab, I wouldn't say anything, but wizards have a much better I guess neutral game. Or no, I'm sorry, witches have a much better neutral game,
Mm-hmm.
but wizards have a much better ground game, which is very important.
What do you mean by neutral and ground game?
So neutral game is kind of a term I use when both players are sitting like somewhat max distance from each other
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just waiting out their cooldowns or just kind of baiting stuff out using cooldowns.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why Witch is a better neutral game is obviously because of their Q block, right?
Yes.
Witch block is much better than any form of wizard block you can get, including C blocking.
Yes.
So that's why the neutral game for Witch is better. But however, the ground game, as in when you start trading skills and when you start actually fighting each other,
Mm-hmm.
the wizard has the grab, which puts their ground game advantage heavily over the witch's advantage because witch only has, well, witch doesn't have a grab first of all, and it's just
Mhm.
very hard for witch to actually land CC when you're like in front of someone fighting them.
Yes. And which does have 2 less super armor, but when you're trading, wouldn't it like frontal block favor over usually comes out on top over super armor though?
Yes, you could. So that kind of goes back to my playstyle. I'm not really one to trade,
Mm-hmm.
but if I were a wizard, I would just use my WF, my Hellfire,
Mhm.
and then I would just go into a grab if I can. But if they're casting another block, then I would just TP out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yes, trading wise, which is better because you can rotate through frontals and what's it called again? Super armors.
Mhm.
However, a smart wizard could predict what a witch is going to use next and then play it accordingly.
Yes. Okay. That's okay. Okay. My so witch and wizard's playstyle, like witch is very heavily, I guess it's very kite style like,
Yep.
while wizard is could be more freedom to be aggressive and all up in your face.
Yeah.
What I know you said, what you stated as like you will favor the grab, but what I understand is you're very much like, so you would prefer, you wouldn't mind, like, the all up in your face style versus kite style, like in terms of just play style wise. Do you know what I'm trying to
Um.
say?
Yeah, I see what you're trying to say. I could play both, but I'm obviously more comfortable with the kite style since I've been playing for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did play wizard for a little while, I did understand like the wizard's mechanics and like how you could outplay people and like the distance spacing you need to have against certain classes.
Yes.
And if I think used properly, wizard has a slightly better time kiting, slightly.
Hmm. Like, oh, okay, yeah. I can see that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that's it's this is more like, that was more in terms of like class specific 1v1 mechanic. Like
Yeah.
today I know this is we're gonna put more emphasis on group fights and small
Hmm.
group. So I shouldn't say should say medium small scale fights. Because siege is completely a different story there.
Hmm.
Now, actually, before we go deeper into witch and wizards, let's go into the micro perspective, Panda.
What's up?
That's say that's when you're shot calling. Who what do you look for? Like, what do you, for a brand new player? Is there a witch or a wizard or whatever? What do we expect from those two classes to provide for you? What's the
From a witch
expectation?
or a wizard, it would have to be one. What will they do if they are under pressure? Will they
Mhm.
run away? Will they kill? Will they try to support other team? Will they try to buff up and then die? That kind of thing.
Mhm.
Another one would have to be, um, how would they be PVX, like 1VX type of thing.
Mhm.
um, and then let's say I'm trying someone out, I would have to see their playstyle. I'm gonna switch my playstyle being aggressive, Zerker, and then one where I'm gonna be like super defensive Zerker.
Mhm.
Like, will you take the bait and go in? Are you gonna be flexible with your mechanics, kind of thing?
Okay.
And timing. That's the biggest thing about Witch Wizards.
Okay.
Excuse me. Timing is like huge, right? Knowing when to heal, knowing when to go in, knowing when to PA,
Mhm.
that type of thing.
Okay. All right. So those are expectation in terms of, from I guess a shackles standpoint, to from out of these two classes. Basically, support, timing, I guess switching support to be offensive, from offensive to support, etc. So far, agree? Disagree? Kinda?
Hmm.
Okay. Now, so the builds that we have on the table is pure AP. We
Hmm.
have hyper, and we have full evasion. Let's say defensive build.
Okay.
Now, let's start from top. Actually, since you're here, let's start with AP build. Like, what need what do you think AP build is most suitable for the which position in the no war, and what are the timing differences, like the key timings that you need to watch out for to play as a witch or a wizard?
Okay. So I think the most efficient way to play an AP build witch is to flank every time. In my
AP,
opinion,
yeah.
that's what the best witches in group fights will do. And what I do is the idea that you're fighting someone in a group fight, you have to look at it by composition, right?
Mhm.
So you break it down. So you go, okay, they have witches and wizards, they have warriors, they have berserkers, they have DKs, they have sworks, they have all this, right?
Mhm.
And then you go, as an AP build, what is the easiest to kill and what will give my team the most breathing room if I kill them, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then you go, okay, so then you break it down per each class, right? Then you go, wait, witches and wizards can heal not only themselves but their allies. They can buff them with speed spell, and they can PA them. So even if there's a shittily geared wizard, they can do or wizard or witch, they can do all three things I just mentioned. There, they can heal, buff, and PA, right?
Yes. Yep.
And assuming that a shock caller has multiple witches and wizards to PA, not all of them are going to be geared. We can agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Because if
Agree
they're
with
being used as PA or healing bots.
that. Mhm.
So what your objective as an AP witch wizard to do is to literally hunt witches and wizards if you can in a node war,
Mhm.
and then play around your PA and your V cooldown. V
Okay.
cooldown is very important.
That's
You can PA
5 minute, ain't
times
it?
before you V, right?
Yes. You can
So
PA
as
three
an
times before you V. Yeah.
yeah, so as an AP build, you have to play with your V timing, 100%.
Okay. Okay.
That's very important.
I actually never thought about that. Like using like V instead of using it as emergency like most people do, you actually use it as offensively, I guess, around your PA.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Do you use ebuff as a defensive mechanism sometimes?
no offensive always.
Offensive always? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
time it with your V.
Okay. Time it with like after obviously sorry like as soon
Before
as he
you V.
runs out and then you
Yeah.
yeah
You
yeah okay.
just yeah. So what I would do is you would debuff, you double TP into their entire backline,
Mhm.
kill as many people as you can, V, PA yourself again and do the same thing.
Okay, so you basically first PA it will be for your teammate, and
Yeah, for
then
yourself.
sorry.
Yeah, you would PA after you V.
Okay, okay.
So,
So got you,
yeah.
got you. All right, makes sense. Now, so whoever is diving backline with you would receive that PA anyway. So like
Yeah.
and to be honest, there should be multiple people diving and not just one or two, because yeah.
Yeah.
Now, let's say so it would be, let's say, Panda call. Okay, we're going in, we're engaging, and Panda charging an alt. So you would. This is by the time you receive first PA, you double TP to the backline. Yeah. Okay.
Uh, so you know how you mentioned timing differences there?
Mhm.
That's when the timing differences would come in right there.
Okay.
If if Panda were to call and say, "Let's push into these guys right now,"
Mhm.
I would know that their witches and wizards would also cast PA, so I wouldn't use any cooldowns. All I would do
Mhm.
is receive the PA of my ally and
Yeah.
then go in with that PA. I wouldn't use my own cooldowns because
Yes.
I
Yeah.
knew I would know it would have zero impact.
Okay. Yeah. And you will yeah, and then your PA is used after basically you come out of the after you dive the backline, correct?
Yeah, or just
Okay.
for my team to like re-PA again.
Okay, all right. So, AP Witch and Wizards dive backline with main force. Now, do you consider my build as a hybrid or full evasion?
I consider your build as hybrid.
Hybrid? Okay. Okay. So, my personal you see my Noah videos. Like, I'm on harassment team. I spend like 80% of my time hitting fucking buildings rather than people. Uh, do you think, let's say, is it best usage of, I guess, my build? Does that make
As a
sense?
harassment?
Yeah, harassment. Like,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
Like, so what about like what do you think? What's call it? Like, if I hang out with the main force, would that would there be a point for a hybrid build?
No,
No.
you wouldn't do enough damage, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like it's one of those things. It's like, okay, since you're a main force, you're playing not just off my own cooldown. I'm playing off my allies' cooldown a lot more as well. It's more efficient for me to do AP build
Mhm.
at that point. Okay. Now, what about full evasion? Like we're talking about models, earrings, and everything. What type of playstyle? Okay, actually, let's back up a little. Would you pick playstyle first, or would you pick what kind of build first,
I would pick playstyle first.
and then build according? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that we can agree. What about okay? So now full evasion build. What kind of playstyle be suitable for that, or is not recommended at all, or whatever.
In
In your
my
opinion.
opinion,
Hmm.
full blown evasion build is the most useless thing you can do. Like in terms of group fight, it's just does no damage. You're gonna cast the same buffs. You're gonna cast the same heals. Like
Yeah.
you're literally worthless. Like if they grab you once. But to support that kind of playstyle, you need to have a very support mentality,
Hmm.
as in you need to you need to first of all, if you're playing full DP or full evasion, you better have CC pen stacked to the fucking roof
Okay.
because that's your only job. Your only job is to CC and heal people and give them buffs when they need it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Do you remember that Korean 3v3 they had? There was the fucking 420 something DP witch and was fucking pruning with like three people beating on him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But anyway. No,
Oh, the Korean tournament?
yeah, the Korean tournament,
Oh my
like
god,
the
yeah,
BM
dude.
shark, the BM shark. He was in shark suit. It was really
Yeah.
funny. But anyway, okay, so that's sorry. I'm gonna pull out my outline again. I'm kind of retarded, lost track. All right, so I guess pros and cons. Do we cover? Yeah. So pros and cons. Okay. So pros and cons. I guess let's start with AP build. So the pros is obviously that um, you know, monstrous damage. You melt kids. Um, cons is essentially you need to play around your teammate's cooldown as well. Or do you agree with that,
Yeah,
or there's more?
there's more. So if you
Okay.
play an AP build in Node War, it's very like this is high risk, high reward, like to the max.
Mhm.
Like if you are not like really good with your mechanics on an AP build, what will happen is you will double TP in, you will blow your load, and then you will just fucking die. Like you're just gonna die right after.
Okay.
You're gonna kill 8 people and then you're gonna die. So one thing I do not like about wizards and witches that just fucking die right after they use everything is especially against the numbers game when you're 40 and they're 80 or when you're 40 and they're 60.
Mhm.
That's really bad for your teammates. 100%.
Yes.
It's because just because you killed 8 people, that doesn't mean you did your job. Like, cool, one person killed 8 people, nice. And then the rest of the 52 are gonna swarm your 39 and you're fucked. Like, you can't do anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
that's the
that's
one con.
yeah. Actually, before we move on to other builds on pros and cons, when you talk about diving, rotation wise, for which let's start with wizard. I personally play wizard. If I'm talking about diving, you want to rotate super armors. Frontal
Mhm.
block is very risky. It's very critical on your positioning when you do decide to use frontal block
Mhm.
um, skills. So especially for wizard, our frontal block moves you. So your position may be good, but you gotta think about where you're gonna end up after you use the skill. And a lot of time that you're even putting an enemy on your side, that's gonna fuck you up. You're gonna get CC and you're gonna die,
Mhm.
even as a defense type or a hybrid type wizard. Now, so for pretty straight wizard super armor rotation is actually a lot easier compared to witches. So we Catalysm, Meatball, sorry, it will be Blighter of Destruction, and Aqua Gel. So you teleport in, you use 3 skills, and by that time your Kata actually will be back up, so you can actually use up to 4 skills, and then your teleport you will be able to teleport again. But generally, by the time the Aqua Gel finish, your teleport should be back up. So it's very easy. Teleport in, 3 skill, get the hell out. Super armor the whole time, iframe, and then into 3 super armor, and then iframe, and it should be no gaps in between. If there's no, servers being nice to you or whatever,
Mhm.
right? So it's pretty straightforward stuff. Which, not so much. Do you want to cover which?
Okay, so so my personal opinion, it's just my own opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think witch is actually better at diving than wizards.
Oh
And
yeah. Okay.
yeah, so here's how you have to look at it. From a CC perspective, right? So you see a wizard and you see him casting Bolide or you see him casting Cataclysm in your backline, right? Like the animations are fairly slow as far as Bolide goes, and Kata is super fast, but it's a knockdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think of the CC you're outputting when you're doing damage, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So let's say your berserkers are ulting in the backline, right?
Okay.
You double TP in, and then you Kata. That reset, not only does that reset their stun timer from the berserker ulti, that resets their CC timer, so they are free. If your Kata doesn't kill them, they are free to go right back the fuck up and just iframe out and pot, and then stop your berserkers 100%.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And I actually never thought about it that way. Okay. Now, um, actually, before we go further on this, let's back up a little. Let's cover some. So you know how after you get knocked down or bound and you stand up, you have a slight immune timer,
Hmm.
and that timer is about roughly about a second, or do you think it's
Hmm.
two? It's about a second. According to my muscle memory, I guess. Now there are a very specific order of CC can go on top of each other. So you stiff, you can go. Your stiff can go into stun, but your stun cannot go into stiff. You gotta remember that. Your stun or stiff can go into a bound or a knockdown. Bound and knockdown, they're essentially the same thing, but with different durations while you're on the ground. Identify which one you are. Well, actually, for some classes, it doesn't matter. For some classes, you need to identify how long your knockdown is. Grab essentially is something that you know it trumps all.
Grab is a bound pretty much.
Grab is a bound, but you can connect anything into a grab.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Seems like everything.
So
Oh, you can stiff stun, stiff stun, stiff stun on certain classes.
really,
Yeah, for example, you can do it on DK.
you can't. You can. Wait a minute.
So you can't. I think it's class specific.
Okay.
So you can't stiff stun on a witch wizard
Mhm.
from what I've tested.
Yep.
But on my DK when I've been playing it, I showed Taka a really long combo
Yep.
where I stiff stunned him literally 3 times in a row. Like
Jeez.
stiff stun, stiff stun, stiff stun, knockdown, down touch. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. So let's go back to what Sarah was talking about for witches. Uh, Wizard basically, essentially, our kata reset, basically void Zerker ulti. It's stiff, right, Panda?
It's a
Yeah.
stun, I think.
For the ground lift,
Alt.
No, the screen.
for my ult, I believe it's stun.
Okay, stun. So stun and essentially, uh, you were saying that wizard goes in and goes straight to a knockdown, and they can just
Yes.
stand up and interrupt the the ongoing Zerker ulti.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Continue about your witches.
Okay,
Diving.
so and then the witch, right?
Hmm.
Or let me go back. Let me back up like 1 second real quick. You know wizards, right?
Yeah.
Wizards' only form of stun, their actual stun is WF,
Yes.
which is Hellfire, and that's a frontal block, right? And like you've mentioned before, it's very easy to get hit out of your frontal block skills when you're against a massive amount of people, especially in a small group, right? Like 40 people.
Yes.
So the reason why Witch is better for diving is because when Witch presses SF, which is their blanket, like super AoE stun, Thunderstorm,
Hmm.
it not only does it do extremely high amounts of damage, but it also stuns on top of the Zerker stun. So
Oh, so extend?
yes, yes,
Oh, the
not
duration.
not extended, for example, but like let's say the Zerker is out of range of one person, like it doesn't clip one person,
Hmm.
and the Zerker is about to get CC'd out, and then a Witch double TPs in with him and SFs that guy, and then that guy starts getting stunned.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then like for Witch 2, like you can go into a stun into a knockdown, but it's much harder for a wizard to go from a stun into a knockdown because their stun is a frontal block and because Witch's stun is a super armor. That's why.
Okay. Okay. So you Telltale Boy in. You start with SF, which is your blanket stun.
Hmm.
Now you go into Shift F. Am I correct?
Hmm.
And your teleport is still not back up at the time. Like how do so you use V to get out after that, or
Yes, I do.
really just two skills?
Yeah, I just double TP, do damage, do as much damage as I can,
Hmm.
and then IV out. It's just not worth it.
Really? Okay.
I need to be a life team. Yeah.
What if let's say so you wouldn't even because like what I've been I guess like if let's say don't play the V around let's say your V is on cooldown and you have PA right, you wouldn't consider like staying longer, but then the fact that you can't use frontal block skills in that kind of situation, like because I've been telling people about, okay, so Frigid Fog is a super armor. Try to link it to
Mhm.
Frigid Fog, and then by that time, I think you're still about like a point something second off on your teleport. You can use Pet Summon, or even you can just use
Mhm.
Pet Summon straight up, and you might actually no,
Yeah,
you.
I use pet summon occasionally,
Mm-hmm. And
but
then
it's not something I would turn to all the time. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, because it's not there's no offensive ability at all.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, and it's literally buying you time before your teleport comes back up.
Yeah.
Right, so like I mean, if your V's on cooldown, you got caught in weird places. Two lightning skill, freeze, and then pet summon, and then your
Mhm.
teleport should be back up. If you skip the pet summon, like you will have about a point. I would say like about just under 1 second, naked time, and that's risky when there's a bunch of people are beating on you.
Mhm.
Uh, and at least that's how I perceived it anyway. But then, uh there are times that, and even let's say, hmm, using another thing about it is like if you let's say you use the last skill you use is freeze. Here are four skills that you juggle for super armors. The
Mhm.
reason freeze puts you in staff, and then your pet puts you back in orb. Now,
Mhm.
the thing about when you are using, let's say you somehow end it with a freeze and then you teleport, rather than like what most people do, they hotkey the teleport. Rather than using your hotkey to teleport out, um, back C essentially auto switch you while you teleport. So which
Yep.
by the time you come out, you don't need to do a naked switch and then into a frontal block or super armor. You can just straight
Mhm.
up. You can skip the naked switch altogether. Anything else you want to add when it comes to rotation and tips? I guess for witches
Hmm.
and wizards.
Tips.
Mm-hmm.
I would say as an AP build, do not be frustrated.
Okay.
I've gone through the same pains and same struggles as many of you, and it's tilting. It's genuinely tilting when you accidentally push on their PA, you don't kill a single fucking person, or when you're
Oh.
1v1ing and you're fighting an evasion build and you want to rip your eyes out because you can't trade anyone. Uh,
Karma.
I
but
know what you're talking about.
it's hard.
Yeah.
But for all my AP niggas, okay, I can't say that word.
No.
For all my AP wizards and witches out there, I believe.
Do you think? Do you think? Okay, as I know you play a little bit wizard too. Like, do you think AP? Is there anything will be different for AP wizards versus AP witches?
Yes, I actually think AP wizard is very very hard to play.
Yeah.
Now, this might sound really weird, right? It's like, wow, wizard, all you do is press SF when you're at 100%. You kill 10 people. Wow. Okay, like, yeah, sure, you'll kill people, but Node Wars, okay? Node Wars is all about impact. I
Mhm.
don't care how many kills you have. I
Mhm.
don't care what you're doing. If they are not impact frags or impact kills when your teammate needs them the most on the right players, they are fucking worthless,
Okay.
right?
I
So
agree. Yeah.
I think a wizard. This might. It's gonna contradict shit I've been saying up to now, right?
Okay.
For sure. Wizard, you need evasion, 100%.
Wait. Why?
Some,
Okay. What? Why? Okay.
cause, okay, so your frontal block skills are fucking trash. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Hellfire and group fights is garbage.
Okay. Yeah.
Chilling wave, garbage. Like both of those things are shit, right?
Yeah.
your only source of damage is Kata, Bolide, and Aqua, right?
Yes.
If you're an AP built monkey wizard and you try to do any three of those skills against a guild who has an average gear score of 450, you will get blown the fuck up. Like you will use jail and then you will be at half HP, and then your jail will finish and then you will die from a dot.
Oh, because how long the animation is?
Yeah, or like Kata for example.
Mhm.
If you Kata a group of people once, that's not going to be enough damage to kill them, buddy. Like no. They're
Yeah.
gonna get up with about a fourth of their HP. There's gonna be a little freaking berserker, some sort of grab class, which there are a lot of nowadays, just gonna grab you, and then you're dead. So I
Okay.
think to play wizard, you need some form of evasion.
So you're talking about it's more like engage range, like the effective range of a wizard versus a witch, because the wizard
Yeah,
need to be so much like so up in your face that is too dangerous, or
yeah,
too to be playing AP. Okay. Whoa,
yeah.
I just fucked up. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So some sort of you need to be some sort of tanky, on at least be able to endure the 7 seconds.
At least a parry dagger.
At least
Just,
just a
just a
period.
parry dagger.
Okay. All
Just
right.
full tap boss with the parry dagger, and you're good.
All right. That should probably net you around like 210, 215 AP. By the way, I remember.
Yeah.
If you're geared. Anyway. Now if you're soft cap, sorry, that's what I meant. And when I say soft cap gear is full tap armors and weapons,
Full try
and with
yellow.
full tri accessories
Yeah.
with proper accuracy, guys. Uh,
Yeah, very important. Please, please. Okay, listen. I'm gonna say it one time, real quick. Do not be a fucking retard and gem everything for AP. Do not do that. Please, don't do this. Don't think you as a witch or wizard have enough accuracy to kill a single fucking person, dude. I'm so sick of these fucking people. Well, I just get enough AP and accuracy won't matter. No. Fuck no. It's not how this game works.
okay, is it because the current meta or just in general overall?
Current meta.
Current meta?
And
Yeah. Okay. I
current
agree.
meta,
Yeah.
100%.
All right. All
When,
right.
when
All
all
right.
the other wizards fucking put on a parry dagger, you have to kill them with their parry dagger on.
Yeah, once DR build starts becoming the meta, then yeah, full AP might be better for sure.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. All right. So we were talking about rotations for actually in general, like, and especially it applies to other builds as well, like hybrid. For evasion in terms of offensive. Now,
Yeah,
consider support skill are very situational and depends on like what your it really depends on what's going on around you, so
yep.
like we can't really tell you, oh, here's your support rotation, like that just doesn't work. Now, let's talk about hybrid. Okay, let's say I'm personally a hybrid.
Hmm.
I don't rotation is exactly the same.
Hmm.
Personally, I prefer I hang out with the harassment team, which is the Musa May was, and somewhat providing somewhat of a support to them. And like
Yep.
there are times it's just a lot easier for a wizard to double teleport in and then just fucking a giant meatball supply depot in Brockgrass than a Musa Mewa, just going in poke 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 poke. Ah, I didn't finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it does happen, and I do fail obviously, but just there are times that it's just a lot easier this way. But then under condition that you have to be tanky enough. Like, do you think tanky witches will work to play the same spot?
Tanky witches to harass?
Yeah, do you think it will work?
I think it can work. I think if paired with the wizard,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, remember how we did that one node warp, bloody?
Mm-hmm.
Me and you were up on the hill, just 2v-xing
Oh
the
yeah,
entire
yeah,
fucking guild?
the whole guy. We
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
even
yeah.
in
And
node zone. It's so dumb.
I was EP build, you were DP build. Whenever they would jump me, I would just TP out, and you would get all the attention. I would just one-shot all of them.
Yeah.
We just like for like literally 30 minutes straight.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. A lot of those
Yeah,
score didn't count. It was fucking annoying, dude.
yeah, for sure, because they kept getting out of bounds. But
Yo.
going back to the topic,
Hmm.
witches with a hybrid build can do very well if paired with a teammate
Hmm.
or a group of people that have very high AP. That's just like the same for wizard, or not the same because Wizard can do more damage. It's
Hmm.
it all brings it's all based off modifiers, right?
Okay.
So Wizards have higher modifiers who do obviously a decent amount of more damage than witches,
Hmm.
and witches kind of lack in the big damage right now kind of field if you're hybrid.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I think if you paired it with an AP build, it would work well. Similarly, it can work well with Wizard, but Wizards can do it solo very well.
So you're talking about AP build as like Musa and Meiwa, is that
Yeah,
or
like like Cat Daddy, 247 AP
yeah?
Mewa.
Yeah, because that's what that's who I work with on a regular basis. You know, where Cat Daddy, Lubu, these guys are very high AP. Provide some sort of support and try to peel for each other. PA if is needed, but apparently,
Yeah, and
yeah.
you know the great thing about that is
Hmm.
you never have to peel for them because there's Zoop Zoop classes.
That's right. They
You
have
never
a
have
fucking.
you only have to worry about yourself. And
You,
whenever you want damage, you just tell them and they kill everything for you.
no, my big thing about it, I actually feel bad because I see them try to peel for me and got killed like multiple times. I was like, and that's why a lot of times I'm yelling. It's like, no, 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 fuck, just get out, dude. Don't even worry about me. You know. But yeah, like you yeah, you don't need to peel for them.
No, not at all. You just do whatever the fuck you want, and then you say big damage in the ping. You literally be Lakari, and then they come in with Petal Bloom and one shot literally everything. Like,
Did you
and then the only time you support them is, all right, I'm casting Lighthouse, guys. I'm casting Speed Spell. All right, I'm casting PA. And that's it.
Well, actually, yeah. Now that I think of it, that's pretty much how it works. For me, Panda, did you have any um witch or wizard with your swing team or flex team in your previous go?
Yeah, I actually put duty in swing. Well, I did. So
Hmm.
and then I pulled him back, switched him to another one.
Hmm.
But yeah, they play very supportive.
Like, I mean, what's your experience with like putting? Because duty is do you consider hyper or evade full? Do you think, Panda?
Duty, I think he is hybrid
Okay.
evasion. I'm not sure honestly,
Yeah.
but my purpose for the whole swing and flooding team, right?
Hmm.
It's more about survivability. So Musamewas don't really have that much survivability, and having literally one or two wishes or wizards will can literally just change that.
Hmm.
So let's say I'm trying to regroup my. Let's say like I'm pushing in, right?
Yeah.
Main force gets wiped. I'm trying to regroup. Swing team's there to basically fuck up their rebuilds, mess up the fort, right?
Yeah.
But what if they fully respawn and they push them out, right?
Hmm.
Then they're like all chunked up and stuff, or something just to keep up their, just to sustain their DPS. They're gonna need another source of survivability, which is a witch or a wizard to heal
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, I wish it
Yeah,
was is literally like the shortest legs, like the classically shortest leg in game. You know what I mean? And it's just like there are times like it's just like, oh my god, I cannot keep up, dude.
yeah, it's hard, but then again, they would have to play around you, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So let's say rather than you playing around them, they would have to be playing around you just because of that same situation.
Hmm. I just feel like there are times I get like some of my team killed for unnecessary reasons. You know.
Because if you think about it, right, if
Hmm.
they're using their movement speed skills to go harass a fort and then you TP in, that's one of your main like escapes right there.
Yeah.
Like that's gone.
Yeah.
So rather than you TPing there, why
Hmm.
not you just like walk there or something,
Hmm.
have them play around you, and then if they fully engage, they can zoop out and you can just TP out, rinse, repeat,
Yeah.
keeping
Okay.
up the pressure.
All right. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. But the
Hmm.
the bane,
The
the
what?
bane, the doom, the fucking
Fuck it, go in
cutthroat
there, dude. Just die.
What?
is when a wizard or witch finds a grapple class and they just put them in the ground.
Especially if they watch a build, you know?
Okay, you gotta relax, alright?
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Actually, that's a good segue to our next topic, guys. Things to watch out for in No War. I mean, in terms of like me, for example, fucking, I'm harassing a building. I see a Zerker lava piercer at me, or a striker just dashing, doing their little fucking dance, like dashing at me. I'm fucking out of there, dude. Like, no, man. Like, like yeah, I can tank a lot, but when these motherfucker grabs me, I'm going down soon. Like there'll be like 50, sorry, not 50, but like 5 or 6 people pile on top of me right away. So for witches and wizard, like what are obviously like strike, not striker, sorry, Zerker is a big flag for you. Do you actually worry about that much because you're as an AP witch, or you hang out with the main force a lot more?
Mm, yeah, you still worry about it, but it all comes down to your timing of your teleport.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just teleport before the entire front line moves up, I'm sorry, you're retarded. Like you just if you distance your double TP into a Zerker, you are doing something wrong. Like that's just wrong. You should never do that.
I don't mind it at all.
You know how there's always that one motherfucking Zerker or warrior or striker just hang out
In the
in the
back
back
line,
line?
right? Fuck
Ugh.
those guys, bro. That's why when I had my AP build,
Mm-hmm.
I was a 243 AP. I was like, if a Zerker is back there, I don't give a fuck. He is dying. I don't care who he is. Unless he has 305 DP, which
Mm-hmm.
is full tech boss with a tech kudim, you are literally dying.
So you actually like focus all your nukes on him, and whoever goes around him dies, type of deal.
Yeah, like let's say, like for him, I'll be like, all right, I fucking hate the Zerker. I'm gonna use my PA for this guy. So I'll
Okay.
PA in,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tank the wizard witch's damage around him, and I'll just kill the Zerker, and then I'll V out, and then I'll go back in, and then I'll kill the wizard and witches again.
So you just make sure that okay. Do you find would you give a warrior the same treatment or?
Warriors, man, Warriors just get collateral, dude. I don't.
Oh yeah,
I,
you're a AP bill. It doesn't matter for them. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, they'll just die. So okay, just one tip.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one tip. Tip from the fucking mighty Hawashi player himself. All right, please, for the love of God, do not hit warriors on your downtime. Don't go in front of your Zerkers and your front line and cast Aqua Sphere or Detonate a Flow. Please don't do that. I've seen too many wizards and witches just die because they spam their long range ability,
Mm-hmm.
and then a Sork out of nowhere, Dream of Dooms them, four wizards and witches get KD'd, and they instantly get blown up. Please.
Okay. Yeah.
Today we can stop this.
Yeah. Okay. Like just naked ability in group fights very dangerous. I mean, yeah, it seems like very one-dimensional when you're actually watching the fight. Like for example, what I'm playing on screen right now. But then it's like it comes down to it really like how you manage your timing, and how you manage your escapes, how
Mhm.
you manage your defense mechanisms for witch and wizards.
Yeah,
Regardless
for
your
sure.
AP build, regardless your
Mhm.
hyper build, regardless your full evasion. And yes, there are times you need to be selfish when it comes to those support skills. But
Yes.
just keep in mind that you staying alive will be able to provide more support or more damage in the longer runs. But then obviously,
100%.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are the things as like for try to obviously on top of that try to keep your team alive. But if that means trading your life for let's say 4 people, I personally don't think will be well. It depends, but if it's like half of you, like let's say 15 people, yeah, maybe it's worth it, maybe. But it's you do better. You do way better if you're alive.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
You have
Um.
to,
Go ahead.
as a witch wizard, if you're AP build, especially if you're AP build, more AP builds tend to think, I have so much damage. I'm gonna kill as many people as I can before I fucking die. Like, please don't do that, right? Like, your life as a witch wizard matters so fucking much. You provide so much for your team. With just one witch and wizard, a team fight could be changed completely. 100%. So
Hmm.
you are important. Do not. Your main priority as a witch wizard should be how can I stay alive after I do something retarded. That's what I think every time.
My God. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Penna, anything do you think? Anything else that we miss?
I think you guys have pretty much covered it.
Hmm.
I think knowing when to go in and knowing when to pull back is a huge thing as well.
Hmm.
Um, but that also relates to timing in a way,
Yep.
and it also depends on your shot caller. So yeah,
Yeah. Uh. What the hell?
Matt.
So there's one thing. If you are playing harassing, was position, I should say, like myself personally, just one thing I really want to stress that knowing that when to flank a building, and what building it is, when to flank a group. There are time and when to actually skirmish and when to drop the skirmish. So it sounds very vague. It sounds very easy to understand. But here's the thing: when let's say your main group is pushing in front of West, this applies to main wild moves at any harassment team actually. Your main group is pushing in front of West. Your team is on the East, so you have the options of pushing in with from the east side. Either you try to take out the important structures on the east side, for example, a flame tower, or a Waja, or a supply depot, whatever. Um, they have to pick a side. Either they have to deal with a pack of fucking 25 to 30 people pushing in on west, or they have to turn around and deal with you, right? So weight your options. Oh, if on your side is a watcher, I will totally go for a watcher. And it depends on what kind of. Actually, you know what? It depends on what kind of enemy you're dealing with. Is the watcher more a threat? Is the flame tower more a threat? Or is the players more a threat? The players that fighting as a main force, if they're more a threat, you know what? Flank their ass. And like they can only pick one side. Now, when to drop the building that you're working on, and then flank enemy forces, or there are other situations such as your main force is still getting ready. So your main job is what deny, and your main job is keep them busy, keep them occupied. So slow down their rebuilds. Just be an annoying little fly or whatever. Now you drag. There are times that you can drag out. It depends on the guild. Hey, by the way, the clip I'm watching right now, Hickey is very good at this. They are actually very good at setting up perimeter. Perimeter. What's the word I'm looking for, Panda? Sorry.
Perimeter.
Perimeter. There you go. So, and then they do not go past that line. So dragging them and distracting them out of their ideal position when our main force push in is actually tougher versus, for example, Karukai. Karukai is very aggressive. It's good to a certain degree, but it's very easy to bait like six people following me to all
Yeah.
the way to the other direction while the main force pushing in. So by that time, it's like, oh, my frame's still pushing in. I will do. There are times I just do a full circle, and then run back and drag in five or six behind me. And by the time I make it back to their base, our main force is already done whatever left is on their base. So they come in into not just a group of harassment team. They're coming into our main force, dealing with them like with them as well. So
Mhm.
it's not all about kills. It's about distraction. It's about how to prioritize buildings, how to prioritize building versus players. What kind of players, classes. Just you have to have awareness, and it applies to all harassment teams. It's not just simple as that building's going up. I'm gonna kill it. All right. I guess we'll do wrap up. Anything else guys want to add to wrap up besides shout out to your parents?
Matchups,
Matchups.
especially if you're gonna be in harass team, you have to know your matchups.
What do you mean?
Like you won't be in with the main force. You're gonna be mainly working with your little cell or just by yourself.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Go ahead.
again, like knowing, let's say like a Zerker running in lava piercer ground lift kind of thing,
Hmm.
pull out right,
Yes.
and then go in as soon as you know his cooldowns are down. If you're getting chased by a ninja, Musa Zoop Zoop classes, again pull out or see if you can kill him. Be like bloody.
Uh, a lot of times it's kind of like I drag take DK for example. Let's say there's a DK chasing me around, and literally it takes killing a DK takes time. It takes patience. because of not a fucking iframe. But the fact that because I'm a hybrid build or if you're a defensive build, it takes time for them to kill you too. So it literally I'll end up dragging the DK around and do objectives. And then your teammate who is around you eventually, if the DK decide to commit and try to kill you, my team is around to help me out. And then, it comes out in prioritizing. And then if warrior trying to do the same thing, or Zerker trying to do the same thing, I'm getting the fuck out of there. I'm gonna go find my teammate and be like, help me, dude. Get this dude off me because I don't have time to deal with this shit. Um, for I don't think that will be much of an issue for AP build. Is that right?
For just the matchups.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a little bit more of a problem. Wouldn't you think? Because if you don't know your matchups,
Hmm.
man, you're gonna get fucked, dude.
But then the fact that you play with majority of main forces most of the time, right? So you have
Oh,
more,
yeah,
I
you
guess,
have more
safety.
leeway, I guess.
Yeah.
You have a let's just say you have a better place to run to.
Hmm.
But me personally, I just like playing solo. Like,
Do you?
yeah, it's so much more fun. Because the thing is, with the gigantic mess of people, right?
Hmm.
You can't. Tally jukes aren't like that important.
Hmm.
Timing certain things is not that important. But
Yeah.
if I'm playing alone, like the highest kill I think I've ever gotten to Node War was when I wasn't literally in a party, just doing whatever the fuck I wanted. I got like
What
100 or
were you
something kills.
doing?
I was literally killing their backline and double TP juking them every time.
Yeah.
And then here's a here's a secret fun fact. If you know how to weapon swap without slow swap, so you just walk a little bit and then you see,
Hmm.
if you double TP, kill a bunch of people, get low HP, C, then Q, so no one can see you on the radar. So people think you escaped.
Wait. See.
C to put away your weapon, like a tap. I mean,
Yeah, that
tap.
was like Caesar's weapon swap. Oh,
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, okay,
Tap
yeah,
to
yeah,
put
yeah.
away your weapon, and
Yep.
then just crouch, just AFK.
Dude, I think yeah, I do that a lot.
Wait, after you go in, so
Yeah.
like,
You
so,
double TP in, boom, 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 double TP out, and then you crouch, AFK.
Yep. I do that actually a lot. Like you find, to be honest, we cover this on the Canon episode as well. It's just like you find a bush, you need to have some sort of physical coverage because your red outline will still show. You find a bush, and you crouch, and
Yeah,
like they will, and that's on top. And Cyril actually added a layer on top of that. Like he tele jukes, so it's harder for people to track him. For those who don't know that what telejuke is, check out the actually in the Wizard and Witch Discord. In the fact and the guide, there's actually a part teach you how to do what is telejuke and how do you do it. It's not the double TP into different direction. That's not it. That's easy to track. So,
yeah,
crouching is actually very useful, and positioning, like even finding, like I remember I actually was standing in a bush next to their main tower. And I sat there for literally 2 solid minute. Actually, no, sorry, 5 solid minute, like just AOE in their tower. There in the 5 minute there was in total I think 2 to 3 pushes from the main force. I just sat there and sat in the bush and just keep AOEing and just hitting their no tower and people didn't even know I was there.
yeah.
Like it's actually kind of dumb. And remember, gotta find bushes that is big enough to cover your nameplate. But anyway,
hmm Oh,
uh,
and
go ahead.
escaping.
Yeah, I'm not good with that.
Yeah,
I need to get better.
you have to practice that a lot. But
Hmm.
remember, if you're in a Zerker grab, you can always escape. Or after you use your skills and nobody hits you, you can escape. It's almost instinctive to me now because I've done it for such a long time. But
You're saying that you can't escape doing grab?
you can, yes.
Yeah, but why? What do you mean escape? In between grabs.
So if you're fast enough with your escape,
Hmm.
let's say you double TP in, right?
Hmm.
You double TP and use our skills, then you escape.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
My God, I've... Panda, Panda.
I don't know about you, but the escape during mid grab tilts the shit out of me. All right.
I'm gonna be
It's
starting.
such fucking bullshit. It's like mid grab chain, right? All right, I'm about to kill. Where'd he? Oh fuck, dude.
Did he
Like at
V?
least in V, at least in V, I know you're still in my hands, right? Like Rock Smash, you're still above me. But if you escape, my hands goes down. I'm just like, fuck, dude. I'm re-rolling. Like, why do I even need this shit? That's why I don't. That's why I stopped relying on grab chains, dude. Not as much anymore. Like, fuck, dude.
Your new
Can't
playstyle is very effective, by the way.
you
Just saying.
cannot escape a fucking slugfest. Well, yeah,
Oh,
fuck it.
Go
one
ahead.
more thing
Triggered.
that's very important to is V timing.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
So when a Zerker picks you up, right? Please don't fucking panic and press your V button ASAP. Because when they drop you on the ground, they can still see you and
Yup.
they can chase you.
Yup.
You should V against a Zerker or any form of grab class when you're on the ground in between their grabs. So you iframe the next grab with V.
Yup. And
That's how
what?
you should be using your V.
Yeah, because it glitches out and yeah, actually see you. Like yeah, like you're invincible and basically put you out of V. Like you don't turn the red orb. You literally don't.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what it is, and you effectively like yeah, you don't take damage, whatever, but you are basically jibbing yourself out of half of the V effect altogether.
Yep.
Anyway, so I think that that's pretty much we covered pretty much all of it, I guess, for Witch and Wizard in small scale and small medium scale mechanic. And if you guys do have questions, and feel free to leave comments on our YouTube videos. And anything else you guys want to say, Adam, before we go?
Yeah, I have one thing to say.
What?
Remember my AP monkey, stay classy.
Wow.
we
Fast up, shift up. All I need to know, alright? That's it.
we always need AP monkeys, man. Although the meta is shifting, we still need AP people. I always tell other people. They just like yeah.
If you turn into an evasion monkey, literally never speak to me again.
Why are we still talking, Cyril?
Who needs DP when you kill them first? Just think about that.
Exactly, dude. Who needs DP when you can log off the game and not take any damage?
That's tilting.
Escape, escape. Let's go.
Exactly. Who needs DP when you have escape, dude?
Who needs
Come
DP
on.
when you can just turn off your computer and literally not die?
Or just be very desynchy. Here's my lag switch, guys. You can never grab me.
Lag switch, dude.
Just kick your internet every now and then.
Just kick it in. Alright, anyway, so my name's Bloody Karma.
It's your boy Los Pane signing off.
That's lolsero. Watch out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for coming out, by the way, Sarah. And
Yep.
so if you like, please head to if you like this episode, please head to SRS Karma YouTube.com SRS Karma, and put a like on that video and leave a comment. You have more questions regarding Witch and Wizards. Next week we will be talking about another class. We have not decided which class to talk about more specifically during Note War. For Note Wars, I should say. It will depend on what kind of guest speaker we be able to get. But generally, basically, you will not be Witch and Wizard. I'm gonna keep it like just going down the list. Anyway, and thank you very much for tuning in. We will catch you same time next week, Wednesday, 11:30 EST. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Karma.
Peace, bitches!